Alright, it feels like we are on the home stretch of Planescape Torment. You can really feel the devs are like, okay, gotta wrap this up. So, most recent task is we gotta go fight this Deva who betrayed us.
I'm gone.
Like, you know, an angel Deva. Not like a dramatic actor or singer or something. The note I left for myself is to try to just bolt to the door because I think all the enemies in here just spawn forever. It's like a way to grind. So you don't get into an unwinnable game state, I assume. Right.
What's up?
Focus-ka?
Hey, thanks, Joel. How have you been? It's been fun chatting about RuneScape and Discord with you. No worries.
I'm gone.
I'm live during like a business day in the US, so there's quite a few people that like watch in another tab while they're working if Twitch isn't blocked. For some folks, it's like late prime time in the EU, depending on where they are. These guys are nasty. There's always YouTube.
Alright.
Just need to find a way for future YouTube viewers to send messages into the past when the stream was live. Hey, Serp, how you doing? Yeah, it's pretty late. Because if you look at the graph of Twitch activity, it starts to spike around like midnight to 2 a.m. local time anywhere.
Die.
Right. Hey, Jahan, how you doing? I personally go to bed at like 8 o'clock at night though, so... Definitely not my bag.
Done.
Yeah, Andrew and I are super old. Reclaiming some inventory space here. Shit's getting bad. So I haven't had a merchant in a while. Yeah, I'm not actually sure how close we are to finishing this. It feels like it's in wrap-up mode. Tipsy Talisman. Nice.
What? Your sheer ugliness stabs pain into my eyes.
Yeah, but I've been going to bed at 8 and then waking up at like 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning to do MMO stuff.
Alright.
Model's working really well for me lately because that way if my alarm goes off at 2 and I'm like, it's not worth it, I get to make that decision. Whereas if I stay up until 2 in the morning, I'm already robbing a future self of sleep because, you know, I have to get up at a certain time in the morning and babysit. But that only works with RuneScape because you can play RuneScape by yourself. You can't really raid with friends at 2 a.m. Right. In other words, that's a plus for RuneScape. Hey, I got fewer competition. All the things I want to do. I'm trying to think if there's something in RuneScape where you actively want there to be other players around. It's sort of the MMO problem that Guild Wars 2 was trying to address forever ago in their manifesto. And they were like, it's kind of a problem that every time you see another player in an MMO, you're like, oh god.
I'm gone.
And I assume that that's still true with WoW Classic, having not touched it yet. That you play WoW Classic and you almost never want to see another player, unless if you've like grouped together in town. PvE versus PvP matters. I just remember old MMOs having the issue of like, if I see another player, that means that they're competition for whatever, or I'm mining for their competition for whatever quest mobs I'm trying to fight. Especially because that was the era of non-guaranteed item drops, right? So if there's like a maximum of 3 bears that can spawn, and each bear has a 1 in 10 chance of dropping the fur that you need to progress the quest, and there are 7 players there, yeah, at least in that situation with RuneScape, you can world hop, try to jump to another server that no one happens to be in. But in WoW, kind of SOL.
But a perfectly good waste of arms and legs.
If it's kill 10 bears, it's fine. If it's collect 10 bear asses, it's awful.
You dog's body.
Even in Classic right now,
Damn.
those quests are notorious for that problem. I seem to remember Wrath of the Lich King. That's when I played WoW. Kind of had a disparity in like the average challenge level of any given quest. If that makes sense. Or the average time investment expected for any given quest. Could be anywhere from like minutes to dozens of minutes. Classic's still pretty crowded right now. I've seen the pictures in Classic of like people getting in line for quest NPCs. Alright, so we're not looking great. I'm gonna try to back up to those barracks and heal up here. Hopefully the enemies in this building stay dead. Potentially magic dagger. Let's see. That was day 1 only. Okay. Fiend's Blood Dagger. That's actually the second one of those I found.
I'm gone.
A lot of quests that aren't designed to support 2 or 3 people trying to do them at the same time. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see how that could happen too. It's a tough thing to try to pull off, like...
Done.
You can try to do a Battle for Azeroth thing where, like, almost every task in the game has a roughly equivalent, like, time to reward. But then players start to feel burnt out, like, there is no optimization to be done because it's done for you, right? You can't look at a quest and say, oh, fuck this quest. This is going to take me 30 minutes instead of 3 minutes. But then again, the plus is that
Done.
there aren't any quests that take you 30 minutes instead of 3 minutes. This game lends itself a lot to random tabletop and MMO discussion. Or going in between plot points. Taunting and kiting mobs with Mort. Mm-hmm.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
Well, I didn't play vanilla back in the day, but I played similar games like Final Fantasy XI. There was often just an issue of like there not being a population of enemies to support the number of kills or being expected by players. And
I'm gone.
vanilla classic doesn't really have a system. Like, how does it determine who gets credit for killing an enemy and who gets its loot? Is it like a last hit thing? Is it a claim thing?
Ready.
Nowadays, in most games, it's like as long as you contribute, everyone gets personalized loot. First person damage gets a tag. That was how Final Fantasy XI worked too. Those were dark days.
All right.
Told the story about waiting for a boss to spawn that had a 3-hour spawn window. It could spawn at literally any second in that 3-hour window. Then your entire guild or link shell was tasked with just mashing your fastest cast ability in the hope that you got the tag off. Because if your guild didn't get the tag, then you wasted 3 hours waiting for it to spawn. Because you're not going to get any loot. You can dot an enemy, and someone else could tag it before the first tick goes off. Yikes. Yeah, are there like some classes that have better instants for tagging than others, I assume?
What's up? If I gotta slam my eyeballs against you one more second, I'm gonna puke.
All right.
Yeah. I'm scum.
2 successful taunts back to back. That feels good. These guys hurt. They're nasty.
Yes.
Huh? Even 50 swigs of brandy wouldn't make you look good.
Instant cast, 40-yard range, immediately does damage.
My dad.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, I don't even feel like that's a thing anymore, really.
Nothing I can
In like modern MMO design. Shared spawns. That was the boss camping in Final Fantasy XI was like that, where it was there was a 3-hour window and one boss could spawn, but there was like a 1 in 7 chance that a better boss could spawn. And no one wanted the loot from the basic boss, they wanted the 1 in 7 boss, right? 6 days a week you probably got Behemoth, but then 1 day a week you got King Behemoth, and it wasn't scheduled which day that was. Random chance every time.
I'm gone.
Good chance you're camping for no reason. You've been playing Classic lately, Brutus? Nice. It's dedication.
Mort, like Latin for death.
Is Latin and language in this universe? Guessing that's supposed to map to some other language. His name isn't actually Mort. It's like common for death or something.
Hi, what? Right.
Things true. I'm gone.
I can be okay with localization choices like that. We're either playing a game or watching a movie that took place in ancient Rome, and somebody yelled like "Jesus Christ!" I'm like, okay, well, I think they're trying to. They're obviously not speaking English. So they're saying something that has the same meaning as exclaiming "Jesus Christ." But they didn't do what I think is the far cornier thing of like taking an English idiom and just substituting, setting appropriate words.
All right.
Like "Gods damn it," because we have gods, not just a god. That's a pretty tame version of it. There's some really bad sci-fi versions. How many tauntauns does it take to screw in a photonic bulb? Shut up.
I'm gone.
I definitely have rose-colored glasses for a lot of gaming experiences back then. I'm generally of the opinion that we're on a relative arrow of progress in most aspects of game design. MMOs are one of the only ones where I feel like, we've talked about this a lot, but improvements have drawbacks that are difficult to project. And it's really easy to, like, remember the drawback, but not remember, like, the missing benefit, if that makes sense. It's easy to remember, oh, it was so great before we had fast travel, because then you really felt like the world was alive and you had to go places. But it's hard to imagine, like, you want to be in a situation where you benefit from fast travel, but also feel like the world is alive, right? The brain's really good at doing that. It holds up still. I wonder if it being packaged as a classic experience helps with that. I feel like old school RuneScape definitely benefits in that way. Like, I don't think it does anything that's bad on purpose. Like, the devs will pull stuff, and like if something is really, really obtuse, usually it'll pass a poll and they'll make it less obtuse. They will just keep it because that's the way it was. Herder.
What you be wanting now? Why not? Got it.
All right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Women are the reason I became a monk. And, the reason I switched back. Filthy sod.
Done.
You know what? We should get some female zombies to join. Filthy stinkers.
I'm gone. Damn.
I think the longest I can do an uninterrupted session of any game is like maybe 6 or 7 hours. I'll do that though. I'll take a short break and get right back on it, but I start to hallucinate. I can feel my focus start to waver. I think there's a lot of momentum to that sort of, we'll call it going hard on an MMO rather than like outright addiction. You know, I've been addicted to MMOs before, like literally addicted, where it was affecting, what's the addiction definition? That it's like negatively affecting other aspects of your life. It definitely was the case when I was in my early 20s and mid to late teens. But anyway, like, I think that it's just a snowball, like, it's bigger and bigger and bigger. For me, at least, it's super easy for me to quit cold turkey, though. Like, just have one thing has to go wrong, hit me sideways, and be like, oh, I'm done. Shut it down, not playing it. See one of Curst's finest, lying in a pool of his own blood. His armor's been thoroughly savaged. Flesh underneath it, looking as though it's been baked in the heat of 1,000 suns. The Tifo's strong. Don't enter till you can defeat him. Okay. Got it. I don't know if we've actually done all the necessary side quests in town to make him easier.
Right. Got
Whoa. That is a fucking treasure trove. Seems bad.
He'll be up in a bit.
I hope you haven't forgotten yourself. I don't want to explain our boring adventures all over again.
Because there must have been like a trap on the chest or something?
You know, if I could click you, you wouldn't know a moment's peace. Even 50 strips of brand wouldn't make you look.
Alright, that seems to suggest that Mort has awareness.
What's up?
He seems the only character that does. So him saying it's Latin for death is a little bit less weird? Yeah. That's covered at great length in that Dan Olsen video about WoW Classic, that a lot of the enjoyment of MMO is preserving the illusion of there being more content than you can grasp, and being able to understand the whole thing pops that illusion bubble pretty quickly. Like, old school RuneScape is pretty well understood right now and pretty well documented, but like it requires such an enormous amount of effort to get to the point where you can experience all of its endgame content that you still kind of have a bubble about it. Even if you can like Google how does Nightmare Zone work, it is not helpful compared to actually running it, you know? Whereas I feel like if you've done modern raiding in modern WoW, you could probably watch a video for Molten Core and kind of just get it. Yeah, I would be interested to see how people have solved it compared to launch. I'm guessing people were planning stuff out, routing stuff before it even launched, right? Like they had just documentation from vanilla or even from private servers. AFK for 6 hours. That's pretty nuts. Alright, let me try to get some inventory space here. Get rid of the obvious garbage.
Why not?
Let's see. Okay, so now we need to identify all this, which means I think it all needs to go to this character. Try to clear up some space. Oh, it's already in their spellbook. That makes sense. Enchanted Hammer. Enchanted Battle Axe. I'm like, if you don't have a magical weapon at this stage in the game, we're going to give you a bunch of them right now. Or Fattest Blade. Curst. Berserk. Strange Object. Fist Weapon? Ooh, Mark of the Savant. +4. 3 to 18 piercing, +2 to AC, +1 to Dex. Holy shit. It's like the ultimate Annah weapon. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and use that. Damn. Rock Club. Poisons target. Usable only by thieves, that's a bummer. Actually, see a use for that. I think these are all just enchanted axes after that. Okay. Yeah, Ian, the guy that's the director for Battle for Azeroth, gave an interesting talk at the keynote for PAX where he was talking about Molten Core back in the day and how he figured out that he could take a stopwatch and time to figure out when the core hounds would respawn.
I'm gone.
And like the thought of like a person figuring that out, instead of it just being known within hours or days of content being released. It was just a different approach to playing games. You see it in sports too, I feel like. Things become solved, for lack of a better word. Like the extra point kick in American football is solved at this point. Like they will cut to commercial before the person kicks because it's kind of a foregone conclusion that it's going to happen,
And so the dogs return.
Hey, it's Trias, the betrayer. Try to reform this town, mortal, but it's too late for them. You've reaped the rewards of their faithlessness. Why did you lie to me? You're in need of direction. The price of your need was betrayal. How is it that you believe you've earned the right to any truths in this life or the next? I wonder why Ravel didn't mention that he's not a good guy. Maybe she hinted at it. Why have you dragged Curst into the Outlands? City of betrayers who betrayed and received what they have deserved. There's no why. Seals my compact with the lower planes. The greater good is served. You made a compact with the lower planes? One can't scale Mount Celestia without an army. The composition of that army is of importance to me. Much easier to hire such creatures than force them to attack. You're going to attack Mount Celestia with fiends? That is consorting with them, not against your nature? Doing this to redeem the name of good, while the generals of the upper plains cower behind their golden gates and feed a brutal war that devours the innocent, I'll bring them into confrontation with what they fear most. Okay. Be a believable villain. There must be another way. You who speak in terms of human lifetimes presume to tell a true immortal that there must be another way. What really happened to your wings? Taurus fires burn hot indeed, but they are candles compared to a father's anger. No pain being cast from Mount Celestia. Oh, he's kind of a Lucifer character. Can still be redeemed. Oh man, are we going to use charisma? We do have like a 22 charisma. Time for redemption is past. I regret nothing. One truly believes in a cause on which people will betray it. Maybe I can change your mind. Okay. Nope, no charisma.
Yeah.
Shenanigan. Let's try just casting all my best shit right off the bat here.
I'm listening.
She pretty much only has healing abilities.
Ignus hears you.
His spells are Garbo, but that's okay.
I hear your words.
What are you gonna do? Summoned a bunch of ads too, great. Guardian vehicle, rude. Power Word Blind on Annah. It's probably gonna work. Ouch.
What?
Barely injured. Yeah, he's really going all in on nuking Annah here. Well, we're getting a full screen spell animation. That's pretty sweet. Save versus death. Good thing to save against, actually. Let's try to just burn him down. How about?
What's up, Chief?
What do you wish of Ignus?
I will hear you.
Blade Storm on Fall from Grace.
Looks like death's come for the bill.
Are you alright?
Oh, did he just like insta-nuke me? Damn. Alright, so they're not fucking around with this guy, turns out. You see if there's a couple more things I can do around the town, maybe. I'm gonna try to rest at least one more time. So I wonder if that "you saved my life" counts as a good deed done.
Oh, this is what I get for getting to a scrape.
What's the word, Chief?
I do not have any sort of dispel.
Stinkers. Pain will not burn.
Done.
Go rest. The trick with the fight is that there's supposed to be like quests that you can do in town, and the more quests you do, the more good you create in the town, the more debuffed the angel is. But he acknowledged that I did some of that when I started the fight. I can double check for dispel, but I'm pretty sure I don't have it. I've taught every spell I've encountered to my protagonist, so I'll check through his spellbook really quick. It's a pretty high level spell if I recall. Can't actually cast level 8 or level 7 spells. Guardian Mantle is what the boss is casting. All physical hostile attacks can be done away with. Deflects all physical attacks for 50 seconds. Yeah. As long as he keeps that up, we're in trouble. Nope. Let's see if there's a priest version of it.
Hmm.
If it was in a shop, I didn't buy it. Try to just lure his ads out and count the time for the buff to run out.
Done.
I don't know if he actually gets infinite ads or not. cool boss arena. Alright, let me see what I can lure out into here.
What's up? Sure, why not? Even 50 swigs of brandy wouldn't make you look good. Did you see that?
I'm gone.
Yeah, good as done. Filthy sod.
I'm wondering if it's a narrative choice to have no combat music in this area, or if
Okay.
there's like an issue there. There's been quite a bit of music in the game up to this point. Music's still turned on.
Like that. Good as done.
We do this all day.
Prime scum.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
What? Sure, why not?
I've always thought of Dispel as a way for the DM to be better prepared than the party. Something that the DM slots on his spellcasters so that the party can't do their fun stuff. I guess I've been in a couple situations where players have gotten good use out of Dispel magic, but
You dogs.
there's similar discussions in even like Magic the Gathering about, was it like having no decks or denial decks? Stop the other player from having fun.
Die. All right. Die.
You know, on the one hand, you have to have a counter, but
What's up, Chief? Sure, why not?
unless your DM is super open, like you're gonna go fight a spellcaster. Do you know to prepare it in the first place?
Lend me your strength.
Yeah, and like from what you guys just have described about Persona and SMT super bosses, like the extent to which they tell you you can't have fun is super on the nose and like strains, the verisimilitude,
You know, if I gotta
your
slam
player's
my eyeballs
belief in
against
the
you one
world.
more second, I'm gonna puke.
It's like, oh, this boss insta-kills you if you're wearing a specific accessory that would make the fight more reasonable? Okay.
Okay.
This is a video game.
You filthy stinkers.
Alright, I got the taunt off on the boss. That means he just melees me? It would be like the cheesiest way to beat him. He failed his save. It would be consistent with the way I've done every other fight in the game up to this point.
Nothing I can do.
Dare.
He must have like rolled a 20 on that or something. I assume the big scary angel boss
Damn.
would not be tauntable by Mort. This is great. Just need to have a yakety sax sound effect button.
The clock seems true.
Barely injured though.
Die.
We can just heal Mort.
Die.
There's nothing I can do.
This guy has HP for days.
See that?
Dang, yo. Guess I can finally use these things, right? These charms. I can't ever use consumables. What if I need them for the final boss? Well... This show's barely injured. I'm glad I got the taunt off on him. It'd be really, really hard.
I'm a little out of practice, it seems.
I yield to you this hour, mortal. My imprisonment has weakened me. In my state, I am no match for you.
Trias, even if you were in your full glory, you'd be no match for me. The man to reach the Fortress of Regrets. Let's exact a promise from you. You must vow to spare my life. Vow to spare your life. Give me the knowledge I seek. The portal to the place you seek lies behind the Taurus above the spire in the city of Sigil, the city of doors. Oh, the mortuary? That's great. I do like bookends like that. Is where you awoke, is it not? Plains seem filled with such ironies. It's the key. Fortress of Regrets is mortared with tears. When like calls to like. To enter the fortress, you must contribute something to it. When you pass near the portal, should you carry regret in your mind, you'll feel the presence of the portal.
Updated my journal.
While the chill bathes you, you must tear off a scrap of your own skin. Write a regret upon it with blood from your left index finger. The portal will open. How do you know this? Many alliances have I sought across the plains. Search brought me to the fortress where I spoke to its lord, keeper of its shadowed halls. Can you tell me of this keeper? Powerful is that one. You shall not best him, and you shall not be able to wrest your mortality from his cold grip. It is lost to you. Go on. Man's mortality is a compass that points his way in life. I think a lot of the keys are super specific to make sure that people don't stumble into them. There's not just some regretful dustman walking around the halls of the mortuary that goes to the final boss room by accident. Because he wished he would have pursued a life as a musician instead of joining a creepy death cult. Man's mortality is a compass that points his way in life. It may be grasped like an object which can be learned about the nature of man, or much can be learned. Your adversary knows more about you than you will ever know. He has watched you and studied you across many of your half-lives. He will not return that which you seek. What will you do when I have left you? I shall once again attempt to levy a host against the gates of paradise. Have you forgotten the face of your father? The upper plains are the home of justice, beauty, and goodness. They are also home to forgiveness. Go home, admit your error, and beg forgiveness. Hey, 22 charisma.
Updated my journal.
Cool. What did he give me? Scroll of Celestial. A level 9 wizard spell. That would be cool if I could cast it. Various proxies and beings of the celestial planes are seen as the embodiment of kindness, compassion, and benevolence. Their might easily rivals those of Vitor or the Abyss. A group of powerful phantasms are called to help eradicate all enemies in a 50-foot by 50-foot area. Combined attacks inflict 40 to 120 hit points of damage. So that sounds like second, third, 3.5 edition wizard to me. You do 4 points of damage. You do 5 points of damage. You nuke everything. You just have to survive to level 20 or whenever you get access to 9th level spells. Your wisdom is legendary. So what's my quickest way out of here? Can I use the modern cube now? Probably not how I'm intended to get out of here. Oh wait, that's what this portal is, presumably. Yay! Curst isn't that fucked. It's only mostly fucked. Just slightly unfucked. This feels like a game's about to crash. I did quick save before I clicked on it, though. Yeah. He said to believe, which we all know means to bluff. There we go.
I'm gone.
Hey, we're back in Sigil. Door's been sealed. Interesting. I thought I had other ways into the mortuary before. I guess maybe I came out through a secret door, but it was so long ago now. Yo, gate guard. I'd like to enter the mortuary. Pay my respects to Deionarra. Alright. Multiple ways you can get in.
Done.
Are you excited to be north of Tipsy? Yeah. Last time we were here was a year ago in real time, I think, when this game got its first bonus stream. Or was it a subblock? You played it for like 4 hours. Oh yeah, these giant skeletons I kept running away from. How long have you been standing here? Long time? Ooh, use your story's bones tell ability on the skeleton. Too long dead to answer any questions. Intricate bronze armor is riveted onto his rib cage. Alright, don't awaken them. I think I awoke them earlier when I accidentally murdered everyone in the mortuary. I think that's the one. I feel like there would be a prompt when I got close to it. Oh, she's in Greece? That's really cool. Hey, thank you, Bucket. Appreciate that.
You're super awesome.
How have you been? Fucking. To even be like the first room you start in, that would be crazy. Yeah, so the final portal was technically where you got off the slab at the very beginning of the game. I love it. Each other like it's here between these two black pillars. You know this is the portal to the Fortress of Regrets. Grit your teeth and peel the skin from your left forearm. Let's back up. I'm going to make a save really quick. Just feels like... I just like to have one, even though I will never load it. Examine the skin. I'm ripping the skin off, using my left index finger to inscribe a regret. Did I pick the regret? I regret what happened to my companions. All my companions had to suffer for me to reach here. You scrawl the regret onto the scrap of flesh, but your rapid healing forces you to stop often to reopen the cut on your finger. Watch the bloody regret dry, a wave of cold washes over you. Everybody ready? Ignus says, I'm yours, so death comes for us both. Fall from grace. I've come this far and be rude of me to retire before the final hour. Annah? She goes, I'll go. Dak'kon? Mort. I'm not going to say too much here, but there's something I need to tell you. What is it, Mort? Yeah, you've been here several times before. There's like this implication that there's a loop. I did love that line when we were at the pillar where he was like, you've gotten here a couple times. This isn't the first time we've been through this. Been to this Fortress of Regrets before. I didn't know it then. From the very start, you could have told me where the portal was, what the portal key was, why I'm immortal, what happened to my mortality, and the fact that it's in this fortress. Mort, I'll kill you. You didn't know? How is that possible? It's hard to explain until you've been there. You didn't know the other you. He wasn't exactly the kind of bastard to share the chant with us. He was looking for some place. He didn't know why, where it was, or what it was. What happened? Yeah, they just had like a quick throwaway line with the bone pillar that was like, ooh, this is very, Memento or Edge of Tomorrow-y. Or other stories that if I reveal their titles will spoil the story. The TV show on right now does some good stuff with loops. First thing I want to tell you is you're determined to go through with this. There's a good chance everybody who goes through that portal is going to end up somewhere far away from everybody else. Evil and split up, it may be your only hope. Everyone was waiting in that fortress for you, Chief. They'd already defeated you once. To this day, I don't know how you managed to survive, but if you fall again, you're going to need someone there to pull you out of that fortress. Fortress of Regret stretches on for leagues. It feels more like a plane in itself. It happened when we first went there. I don't know what happened to you, but I know what happened to me. In my time running from vault to vault, shadows crawling all over me, trying to bring me down. When you say us, it doesn't sound like it meant just you and me. Yeah. I have walked your path many times. A portion of your path is known to me. 5 walked the path to the fortress. Each died their own death. Yeah, Ravel hinted at this pretty hard, that, like, they've all followed me many times before. I died the death of faith. The skull died the death of courage, the woman died the death of grief, the blind archer died the final and most merciful death. You died the death of memory. Who are these people? The woman was Deionarra. I never knew the archer. He knew his targets without seeing him. That's cool. Character that. I wonder if you can recruit the blind archer in the main game, or if he's like literally dead. Tormented creatures. The wounds in your spirit are known to them. They will attack you through them. Shadows suffer. They know of torment. They know how to torture you with that which has wounded your heart. You face them, know that you face that which has killed you once. The archer died the death of the body, the woman died the death of the spirit. Couldn't save the woman because it was not your will that she be saved. Her grave was dry of tears. No one knew to mourn her passing. Why didn't I want her saved? Bound to be divided as soon as we arrive. It's a huge place and it's crawling with shadows. Anything else you feel like sharing that might help me? One thing you should know. The you I knew before, the you that led us here, he wasn't like you at all. What do you mean? He was a huge dick. Despite all your asinine behavior, you got more spears than he ever did. The other you, he was detached from everything. That's not all you want to say, is it? I may not have liked the other you very much, but he was one smart basher. He always had every angle covered. If he died at the fortress, that means, well, you don't think I can succeed, do you? It's not always who's smartest or the most powerful or the toughest. Sometimes it comes down to who you are and what you really want. Once you wanted to become immortal, but in the end, is that really what you wanted? I understand if you don't want to come. He's saying if I go through the portal, it's not just my fate anymore. Because of what Ravel said in the maze, isn't it, Mort? You draw people who suffer to you like a lodestone. People that are tormented? You've been suffering all this time. Are you with me, Mort? Why not, Chief? Gone to every other horrible plane in the multiverse I could think of. Why not take that extra step over the cliff? Alright, that's a long conversation, so I'm gonna go ahead and save again.
Experience has increased my skills.
Extra XP from the conversation here. Pre-endgame for real this time. Debating telling you about a non-essential missile for story reasons, and also causes a massive XP dump. I'll take a massive XP dump, sure. What do I have to do to trigger it? I assume you're talking about it because it affects the ending? Or it's relevant in some other way? Skin of Regrets. You just really fit that on there. You have a bronze sphere. Huh. That was a long time ago. I don't even know if I still have it. Let me see. I thought I like used it on a quest or something. Maybe I deposited it somewhere. Well, that's an obscene number of levels. Was I able to use the bronze sphere on a quest? I thought I turned it in for something. I don't think I sold it. I doubt I would have been able to. Alright, well, I'll pop out and try to look for it real quick.
Done.
There are only a couple places where I deposited stuff. Presumably they're all still accessible in the late game, I guess we'll see. Oh, I wonder if I can use this guy from here. Alright.
Done. I'm gone.
Alright, so I deposited some stuff in the inn. Yeah, but if it's more XP than I currently have levels, that's kind of nuts.
Done.
Bunch of spells, Club of Nettles. I also stored stuff in my player house. Everybody get to use the pet Lim. Kept forgetting I could scroll these locations for more items. Alright, I'll try my player housing.
All right.
Which was in Worksword?
Done. All right.
See if I put it in here somewhere. One other place I can think to check. It's not sellable to merchants, right? I assume.
Done.
Possible I could have like dropped it when a character died and not picked it up, right? Changed classes and dropped it, had it in my quick items or something.
I'm gone.
So it could be in the buried village.
All right.
No, I'll see if I can find it. You guys pointed it out for a reason, right? It seems significant if it gives more than 16 levels of XP.
All right.
I feel like some of these boxes have been drained of the stuff I put in them.
All right.
Let's see, other places I maybe set stuff down. Junk, dagger, rags, junk, intestines.
I'm gone.
Hey, I found it. First try. What do I do with it once I get it? Now is probably a good opportunity for me to sell all that garbage.
Got this, Marstead.
I bring it into the.
First try.
I can just bring it into the Fortress of Regrets with me. This. One of these merchant spies. There we go. Finally. Cover a ton of inventory space. That I'm probably not going to need, but I just want to be able to pick stuff up without having to stop and move stuff around. I don't want to just throw all this stuff away. What if there's a shop in the final dungeon? Makes perfect sense. Marty, what are you doing? Hey. Some people's cats, I'll tell you what. If there's a dungeon in the final shop. Okay, probably have enough space to just dump stuff on other characters now. Sounds like something that would be in Racketeer.
All right.
Bronze Sphere. There's a note from Ferrets. Converge shadows, pure places where the night lives. They wait, there is no natural darkness, only shadows. Small bronze sphere is about a foot across, but it's surprisingly light, as if hollow inside. Sphere manages to offend the rest of your senses. Egg about to burst open. Touching it makes your skin crawl. Faint smell of rotten custard emanates from it. Examine the sphere. Okay.
All right.
It's a pretty crazy random item to have on you. Thank you for telling me about that. I never would have thought to try it. I guess it's a really important item in the first act of the game.
All right.
Let me in. Let me in.
I'm gone.
Like a guarded gnome. It's so wild not having those skeletons aggroed on me constantly.
I'm gone.
And remember that I opened a shortcut there. Cool. Alright. Pre-endgame, for real, for real. _ copy. Everybody ready? Yeah. Negative material plane. Fortress of Regrets.
I'm gone.
And they're right, by myself. Graphics. What a cool looking door. If your door has an FMV, maybe try going the other way, just in case. Hey, Deionarra. What's up? Jennifer Hale. Spooky Jennifer Hale. My love, you should not be here. You must leave at once. What is this place? This is the Fortress of Regrets. It's a place that holds the moment of my death prisoner. You may not stray from its halls. You can find a way back to Sigil, you must. If you stay here, you shall die. Something about this fortress. The shell that surrounds it cuts it off from the rest of the plains. Why would the shell act as an obstacle? That makes no sense. Maintain my vigil here in this place. I feel like in this universe, vigil should be pronounced Vigil. They're going to tell me to pronounce it Sigil. Come to learn the nature of your immortality. It's a thing which hungers for the lives of others. At the moment of your death, it claims another living thing in your place. Oh. Damn. Like, Sekiro. But, couple decades earlier. When I die, another dies in my place. Can't find another living thing to die for me, and you die in its place. Allies are here. What happens to them if I die? You brought anything that lives with you to this place, and it is in terrible danger, both from the shadows and from you. Should you die here, your immortality will hunt for the closest living thing in the fortress, and that is the one that shall die in your place. Cool. I still feel like the Sekiro implementation must have gone through several rounds of iteration, because it ended up not really being impactful. Like, it was a cooler setting idea than it was actually a mechanical effect in the game. But on the other hand, if they had made it actually mechanically impactful, if, like, you know, NPCs literally died if you died too many times, which is what a lot of people assume the text was describing, it would make the game too stressful, so I don't know. There's no natural darkness within the fortress, only the shades of those who've died in your place. The energies of this plane feed them, and their hatred for you is beyond all reason. I don't know how many hundreds of shadows are here. Fortress is a thing of many miles. Finding your friends here will be difficult.
Updated my journal.
Time to go on, you must know this. Past the entrance of the fortress is a great antechamber with countless shadows. You must move swiftly and not let them gather about you, or you will surely be slain. In the chamber are great clocks. Clocks which you spoke of once as having been the key to you escaping that chamber. You were trapped once before. Thanks, Deionarra. Good looking out. Sorry that you're dead. It's probably my fault. To say, this is a pretty sweet final act. Like, I was concerned that we were going to get credits after the Deva fight, which didn't feel super earned. But bringing it back to the portal in the mortuary and going back to Sigil at the end is pretty awesome, especially with all the dialogue with Morton having gone through this multiple times with the party members before. Big fan. So it feels like the end of Act 2 and the beginning of Act 3 is kind of fast-forwarded, probably because they couldn't make it as big as they wanted it to. They couldn't give it the level of attention that they gave to, like, the first, 20 hours of the game. Ignus.
Great power is here.
Hey, it's Tony J.
Ah, the sorcerer. I have need of you. There are creatures that must die.
That seems bad. Ignus, don't work for Tony J. He almost always plays a bad guy. His voice is too perfect for it. Greater Shadow. Well, I haven't been solo ever in this game. This might not go too well. Let me try using my wands on it, maybe. Try to double check what that actually does. Black Barbed Curse. Okay, I probably want to cast a shield on myself and then start using the attack. $18 damage, yeah, I probably don't want to come in here as a solo mage. Not great. Let's make the 95 one be shield. Oh, it has 99 charges of both. Okay. So many ads. Badly injured, that's the word I like to see. Turn this on autocast, right? It's still technically consumable, which kind of pains me, but hopefully I have enough charges to last me through the final dungeon at least. Now I can be a mage. I'm gonna advance. Marty, what are you doing? Why are you guys so bad today?
Hi, Ben.
Come on.
It's not Marty, that's Ben.
Come on.
No, Cammy, that's Ben.
Come on. You.
Close enough.
The shield wasn't great, so maybe I should just not be fighting them. So I still can't use this bronze sphere, right? Okay. Now that I'm solo, I'd very much like 16 character levels, please. Oh, they can cast spells on me. That's good to know. War Relic. It's like a forgotten War Relic. Most of the machine is covered in dust, except for the strange panel with levers at the front of it. Save the panels. A series of gears and levers. Some bear no marks, others bear a single slash between them, and one has an X. You know, the X lever will somehow help you leave this place.
My journal.
Gives way easily beneath your touch, and to your surprise disintegrates into mist and spreads to your hand, which also begins to fade.
Shadows.
It'll be fine, Dak'kon. Oh, they all kind of look like Tony J.
Ah, the Githzerai. I remember him well. Submit.
I may be bested in battle, but I shall never be defeated.
You cannot hope to defeat me.
I have been here before. This time I shall never leave.
So be it.
Or Dak'kon. God.
I'm hurt.
Probably should have given him some bandages. Didn't really know what the situation was going to be like, though, when we got in here. That's why we made a special save file. I think Annah looks the most like a Diablo character.
So cold here.
Ah, the fiendling girl.
I like the Transcendent One is like me. Where's the one who brought you here? Bet sure you'll never find him. Your words have passion, strength, and precious little reason. Perceive yourself as special in his eyes. Countless others have felt passion for him. Of all of them, you are certainly the least. You are a thing. Answer me this, and you will know silence. Does the one you follow matter to you?
He matters more to me than my life.
Then die.
What can you say? It's a cool zombie. Ooh, jeez. Critical miss. Oh, Annah. This is a really cool final sequence. It's up there among the best ones I've seen in video games. I think I'm super dead. Probably gonna have to reload here soon.
Don't let it end like this.
Yep. Now, hold on. Before I load my save, how literal was Deionarra? Like,
Alright.
if my hit points are reduced to 0, a character dies, so I have to get through here without getting killed, or is she talking about, like, story deaths? Hey, Kiki, how you doing? Yeah, if there is a mechanical impact to my health being depleted while I'm in the zone, then I will load my save, but if I don't have to worry about it, then I'll just keep exploring.
Alright.
So there is an impact to the protagonist's health being depleted. That's all I need to know. Does the protagonist's health being reduced to 0 while exploring this area impact anything? Okay, then I'm loading. Thanks. Let's put all of the healing items on protagonist. Now is basically the worst time for him to be a mage instead of a fighter. I don't think I can bump up his AC any further. Yeah. As good as it's gonna get. Don't really care about dirty rat charms. See what other things I have a stack of here. Can always actually use the Cloudkill abilities. It is the final area. Can I actually see the effect of Black Barb's shield? I thought I added it to my spellbook at some point, but Black Barb Curse just deals piercing damage. Okay. I'd love to be able to cast Guardian Mantle, that would be great.
Done.
Endgame, but with healing items. Endgame with healing items. I'll try to skip through the dialogue and cutscenes we've already seen.
All right.
Trigger Deionarra over here. Alright, let me just switch one of these over. Yo!
Updated my journal.
Okay, cool. Cool door opening FMV. Oh, these are like actual... Okay, I'll have to watch these again. I can't skip them. I think they're all in-engine.
Ah, the sorcerer. I have need of you. There are creatures that must die.
Ignus seems to be on board with Tony J.
Done.
He's not gonna go to his grave for me. Try to keep the shield up. Oops.
Updated my journal.
Shadows.
Ah, the Githzerai. I remember him well. Submit.
I may be bested in battle, but I shall never be defeated.
You cannot hope to defeat me.
I have been here before. This time I shall never leave.
So be it.
It's a cool answer.
This is it.
Now I'm wondering if taking the machines is bad. Shoot. 26 damage, yeah. So I don't come in here as a mage. I might already be stuck. Let's see. There we go. Oh, I've been here before. This time I'll never leave. Not, I'm gonna beat you. I will fight to my last. Huge clock looks like it's partially melted into the black stone surrounding it. Strange crawling sensation worming its way to the back of your skull.
Updated my journal.
Something important about it, but you don't know what. Not super clear on what Black Barb Shield does. Doesn't seem to help my defense too much. I don't think I have a way to read what it does. Doesn't seem right. No, it's the furthest forward in time. Huh.
Done.
Maybe there's quick save jank because of all the enemies. Alright, let's listen to Dak'kon again, and I'll try to save as soon as I get through this.
Shadows.
Ah, the Githzerai. I remember him well. Submit.
I may be bested in battle, but I shall never be defeated.
You cannot hope to defeat me.
I have been here before. This time I shall never leave.
So be it.
Cannot be saved when hostile creatures nearby. Okay. I could try to slowly kill them with Black Barb Curse. It would just take a really long time. I'll think about it for future encounters with them. I might not have a choice. Huge clock looks like it's partially melted. Like someone walked on it recently. Something crudely scratched on the clock face, and you feel a strange crawling sensation worming its way to the back of your skull.
Updated.
Examine your writings. The message is from me. The message carved on the clock face looks like it was carved with a dagger. Run, doors are lies, use cannons, then portal. Going in the opposite direction is the long end of the clock. Supposed to be the cannons. Forgotten War Relic. Hunt for the panel, then the lever mark for the next. Each one of these, I think, is featuring a different character. Yeah.
It is difficult to separate shadow from the darkness here. This is not a place meant for the living.
Shadows are the purple ones. Jennifer Hale.
Ah, the Tanari.
You are the spider that lies at the center of it all. You must have missed a voice line there. Many questions you could answer. Your goals in this matter have not been entirely clear. Goals are not for you to know, fallen Tanari. My indulgence is all that keeps your black heart beating in your chest. You may leave with your life now if you will. It's interesting. The way she's walking around reminds me of how characters emote in like Chrono Trigger. Hearts neither black nor do I fear for my life. My companions, my friends, are here in your fortress. I shall not leave until we rejoin and the man we follow has resolved this matter. There is no satisfactory conclusion to this fool's errand. You will leave this place and you will leave your undying companion here. Fear not for his life. The only price you shall pay is the loss of memory. For the small price he'll pay at your hands, it's the equivalent of death to him. There are many things I don't wish him to forget. It is his fate to remain ignorant. He will forget you, Deionarra, just as he forgotten all those who've walked the path of misery with him. He exists to die, forget, and die again. He is nothing. He has suffered much, and I find my sympathies lie with him rather than the arrogant creature that postures before me and fights as a coward fights. So torment him no more, they said the thing.
You have done enough harm. Prepare yourself.
You are not. I can forge planes with my power. I can unmake you.
She actually did some damage. But then she took 25 damage. Oof. Yeah, I have a feeling that Tony J is protagonist, but we'll see. Some facet of the protagonist. Kind of a butt. That's true.
So cold here.
Ah, the fiendling girl.
He matters more to me than my life.
Then die.
She's come around to liking Zombie Man in like the space of a month. We still need to see a cutscene with Mort. Make sure I'm topped off, because it's pretty easy to get your ass kicked in here. Spider. Oh, don't get surrounded by them. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I'm getting wrecked over here. I've already been here. Haven't been north. We did that one already, right? Okay. You know if you've done it already, that's good to know. There's a big gate up here. Oh, those are stairs, okay. Huge clock with its partially melted in the black stone. Previous incarnation never came past this one. Come on, touch the thing. For the lever marked with an X. Unlike the other times, nothing happens this time. Disintegrates into mist. In the distance you hear a roaring sound as if something just opened and a howling wind is rushing through the vaults. You realize you're disintegrating and becoming part of the wind. Now what's happening? Now we're going to see more... Or not. Interesting. Doors are lies, use cannons, then portal. Hey, I got a quick save off, thank God. Okay. So we're gonna have to watch those cutscenes again. I feel like there are 2 places I could expect the portal to spawn. This seems like the most likely. Yeah. Whoa! Graphics! No, I mean, I could have saved. If I had started on the first screen and just spent some time killing the enemy, you just can't quick save when there are hostile enemies on screen. I just happened to warp somewhere where there aren't any hostile enemies nearby. Oh, Ignus is gonna be a dick after all. What a butthead. I thought we were friends, dog. As a mage, I'm like so weak that I wouldn't be able to fight any of them. Yeah, I think he'd resist the first hit. What about the and ice part? That one hurt. Barely injured. Now he's casting his defensive spells. I think that's a pretty good representation of my issue with Vancian Magic, is that it feels designed for the DM. The DM has all these monsters that only have to exist for one fight, that you can prepare based on the party's specific capabilities, that didn't have to burn through their spell slots in between battles. Works really great in those cases. We just have to punch this dude. His shield seemed to be pretty effective. Ignus's fire shield spell is great when he's a boss battle. There, now it's off. The implication that, like, I'm the reason that Ignus is a fireman. Ooh, 3 damage. It ain't easy when you don't have a yakety sack skull insulting the enemy and then running in circles. Nice crit. I don't think I've landed the poison on him yet, though. I forgive you, I guess? Looks like a statue of you. Its arms are crossed and it glares straight ahead. Statue of you, but its face is a ruined mess. Staring at the center of the room with a disdainful expression. Some loot on the ground behind this one. What's that all about? Sounding stone. Let's see. I can dump that. Covered in dust as if it has been sitting here for years. Looks like a piece of one of the statues that was chipped away. Tracery of strange runes and markings cover the stone's surface. It feels strangely familiar. As you touch the stone, a mouth appears on the side and begins speaking in your voice. It echoes as if speaking within a great chamber. Dak'kon Mort, Zachariah Deionarra, it is I. It is me. I have placed a minor messaging enchantment on the stone. Listen to it fully, then do as I say. The voice takes a breath. It sounds irritated. I don't know how we got separated, but I think the portal that brought us here divided us. It's only a minor setback. You find the stone, stay with it until I can rejoin you. Based on my divinations, this fortress is the size of several cities. I found my way through the first of the vaults. This place is filled with shadows, way too many to keep fighting. You encounter any, run before they swarm you. They're much tougher than the other shadows we encountered before. The energies of the plane feed them somehow. There were a series of great war relics within the vault that shifted me from place to place. I managed to lure the shadows to each machine, then shift while they swarmed where I had been. Bought me some time enough to escape. Once I tripped 4 relics, opened a portal out. Yeah, life expectancy is 3 to 5 rounds. I think, so 4th edition explicitly addressed that. Like, I think they even had that as a philosophy statement in the DMG and maybe even in the monster manual that was like, hey, we used to give massive stat blocks to monsters and we used to give them, like, character levels and, like, 20 spells, and they live for, like, 3 to 5 rounds. Here's, like, 4 things they could do. The vault I came from might be some sort of gatehouse. The relics seem to seal it off from both the inside and the outside of the fortress. Whatever built this place likes keeping the shadows under guard so they can't run loose. But yeah, rolling monsters in 3rd edition was... no me gusta. I completely eyeball. I make up monster mechanics now. I just give them something they can do every turn, something they can do once, and something that they can do when they get to half health. There are 5 statues in the room, and they look like me. They look old, too, like they've been here for some time. As for the crystal, it doesn't seem like it belongs in the fortress, and its size and shape reminds me of something I've read in the annals. Some sort of dimensional prison that segments the soul. It's not a coincidence the portal from the main vault teleported me here. I think the crystal's a trap, so don't touch it until we're together again. I mean it, Mort. I'll try and find you all now. If you find this reader stone, don't move from this spot or I may never find you. Left some supplies for you in the base of one of the statues. Don't waste them. Okay, cool. This must be this guy. Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, it's like almost to the point that if I were to ever publish my setting in my rule system, that I wouldn't suggest that. I wouldn't like give those abilities. I would just give guidelines on how to make your own abilities. Maybe give some examples. Oh, and then I'll sometimes give them a passive, like some kind of unique thing that's just always on. Like this thing, you know, instead of being hurt by water damage, it heals when it gets hit by water damage. And then there's another monster in the fight that always deals water damage. Or another monster that makes all of your allies' attacks start doing water damage, so you can have some fun little design space synergy between them. Like, the problem is if you grab, like, 3 monsters from the monster manual, there's a good chance they weren't designed to work together as, like, an encounter. Let's interact with this crystal thing in the center of the room. Touch of dizziness as you touch the crystal. A slow chill passes through your body and you discover your muscles have locked. A moment of silence and sharp pain splinter through your body like fractures. You feel as if your very being has been turned to ice and shattered. Well, that seems bad. Hey, it's other copies of me. What's up, guys? Y'all are zombies too? Past me, good incarnation. He has awakened. Practical incarnation. Finally. Paranoid incarnation. Perhaps you will still die. Never forget I watch you, thieves. Okay, you're the guy that wrote in the dodecahedron. Have a care how you speak to me, you deranged wreck. It's fortunate to reach here with all the traps you scattered throughout the plains. Make sure he's alright and save the arguments for later. Who are you all? By the hells, he's lost his memories. He's useless to us now. These are the other ones that have made it this far. Give him some space. Leave him be. Time is no longer in our favor. I won't stand here and squander another moment while our adversary is no doubt hunting for us. The man before you resembles you, but he carries himself more like a force than a man. His eyes are watching you carefully. Hey, Nodovan, how you doing? So, it has come to this. I won't surrender my name to you or any man. As for who I am, you should be asking yourself that. You're one of my incarnations. With my clues to guide you. Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Nodovan. If there's anything I've hated about you, it's your countless questions, your desperate fumbling for meaning and answers. Time for questions is past. Now you will listen to me. I was the first to breach this fortress, and whatever it is that awaits us here is somehow able to defeat me. It's the Founder's Badge. I kind of dislike it, and I wish I could disable it from a channel perspective. It's like the first 10 people who subbed on Twitch. But because we had Patreon first, in this channel it's the first 10 people that switched over to Twitch on the day the affiliates got sub perks. And individual viewers can turn it off, but if you like it, that's cool. So if you intend to fight whatever it is that lurks here, of course, that's the only reason we're speaking now. I need you to be the shell, but your mind must be my mind. You understand me? You intend to possess me? Yes. Cannot leave this place in pieces. Only one may leave. How are we to become one? You must surrender your will to me. Your knowledge and skills, whatever little you've managed to accumulate in your life, may prove useful. It'll ultimately be but a fraction of my power, but it might have its uses. If you came here previously and were defeated, I was taken unawares. I did not anticipate my companions would be split from me upon my arrival. Power to surrender to you, we could still fail. I'm the only one who possesses the knowledge necessary to succeed. I don't know, dude, do you have a 21 in intelligence, a 22 in wisdom, and a 22 in charisma? If you search the Discord general, Darkstar brought it up. If you search founders, I think we found where to shut it off. I think it's like in the profile screen somewhere. But don't worry about it. If you want to have it on, that's totally cool. I think it makes sense for new channels that are just now becoming affiliates, right? But since we already had a history of people on Patreon before that. Unfortunately, it also replaces your loyalty badge, so you don't get to see the Zelda heart. Why should I let you possess me? You have no choice in the matter. You don't know how to escape this place. I do. If you refuse to surrender with me, I will refuse to surrender to you, and neither of us will be able to leave this place. Only one may leave, and it will not be you. If you're one of my incarnations, I've got questions for you. You must be the one who saved Dak'kon and Shaktor, and the one who led Deionarra to her death. Yeah, because he didn't really love her, right? You gave Dak'kon the Bible. Why? The collection of lies? It was a week's work to forge such a thing. You made it, but you told him. Perhaps they carry some truth, I know not. I know that they were tedious writings, but the words were enough to give him faith. And practical incarnation's a dick. Your ignorance astounds me. Can it be you do not know what he carries in his hand? The blade he carries is shaped by his thoughts. Such a tool, when used properly, could slay the multiverse itself. Obviously, the gift became separated when we arrived in the fortress, and I was unable to make use of his blade. Unfortunate. Yeah, what a real ass. Holy shit, lots of options here. You saved Dak'kon and Shaktor because of his blade. Why? Oh, yeah. Why did Deionarra have to die? Girl had little sense of the planes in her, and that was what I needed her for. The Dustmen have it right. Sometimes when you feel too much passion, you cling too tightly to life to let go, and neither did Deionarra. I hope she would. The woman, that ghost? She tormented me for years, pursuing me, hating me, and you were the one that killed her? I like the practical incarnation as like the real final boss, right? Get in, sacrifice her, and get out. The good incarnation. Why did you do such a terrible thing? I needed someone to be my eyes here on the negative material plane, to serve as a scout and try and find out who my killer was. Only the dead can survive here for long, so Deionarra had to be sacrificed so she could become something other than she was. You didn't have to kill her. He looks at you silently for a moment, then his sneer returns. That is why you'll be defeated if you confront our killer. It's because you are weak. You do not see that some things are necessary. It wasn't necessary. It was convenient for you. Dare lecture me? Women have always walked her path with us. Whether Deionarra or Ravel or any other woman, they have suffered. It was always their choice. Deionarra would have died for me if I'd asked her to. There was no crime. You built that tomb beneath Sigil, didn't you? The one with the traps. What a waste that was. That didn't work. Second incarnation breaks into uneven laughter, but it's more gleeful than mad. It's easy to breach that child's trap. I found it and changed it to make it harder. Change the writings. Looks like he's barely restraining himself from attacking the paranoid one. Yet another thing you'll answer for. Shortly after the failure of the tomb trap, that I decided to carry the battle for our killer rather than wait for him to show any longer. Are you the one who pried Mort off the Pillar of Skulls? Is Mort still alive? And he starts laughing. Hiking Skull couldn't be trusted farther than I could throw him, claiming he had information when he didn't. Then I had to go through the torment of prying him off the Pillar of Skulls, and he feigned ignorance once he was off it. Feigned ignorance? What was his game? What more did he have to lie about? Let the Skull have his secrets. Responsible for the tattoos on my back. The directions? Of course I was responsible. I knew there was a chance I might fail here and lose my memories. I wanted future incarnations to benefit from some guidance. Yeah, so he's totally Guy Pearce, right? Why did you put that warning about Mort on the back? You want to ask Farrah to get the bronze sphere from the catacombs. Farrah? Oh yeah, the trash king with all the tough bloods. I thought I was easy prey. Early little bloodletting, I struck a bargain with him. He would see to it that if his men found me, they would take me safely to the mortuary, and of course I needed the eyes and hands of his men to scour the catacombs beneath Sigil for me. What for? Sphere made of bronze, ugly, feels like an egg to the touch, and it smells of rotten custard, right? I told Farrah it was the only thing that would save his miserable life. The old bastard was destined to end up on the Pillar of Skulls when he died, desperately trying to weasel out of it. But it wouldn't save him, it was just something you wanted him to find. It was useless to him. One cannot dodge fate so easily. Nothing motivates a man faster than telling him what he seeks will save his soul from eternal damnation. And why was it so important? The Dead Sensory Stone. Do you know what it contained? The last experiences of the first of us, when we were one man and not a string of incarnations. There had been some way of unlocking it. Able to see inside his mind. Oh. It's the answer I've always sought. Why this happened, why we became immortal, and I fear we shall never know. Don't deal in the realms of perhaps and maybe. I brought the sphere with me, you know. You have it? When we merge, I'll see about finding a means to unlock it. Perhaps all is not lost. I will not merge with you, but you will merge with me. I surrender to no man, and it is you who will be absorbed by me. I doubt it. You're no match for me. There's little point in resisting. Try me. Lock gaze with him and try and force him to merge with you. To swim in the corridors of his mind, the first emotion you encounter is surprise, and his eyes widen. He's not absorbing you. Your will is stronger, and it's consuming him. Hey, points and mental stats. You feel him desperately trying to pull back, but he cannot. He's too weak, and your will blocks his retreat while drawing him deeper into your subconscious. This is the last time we shall ever speak. Return to death where you belong. He looks incredulous. Then he disintegrates, and you feel a rush of knowledge. Int and Wiz increased by 1. Too much to absorb at once. As quickly as it occurred, the rush subsides and you steady yourself. The bits of knowledge swirl about in your mind, and you make some sense of them later. For now, only one piece of knowledge is important. The Incarnation did not know how to leave this place. He lied to trick you into surrendering. Well then, let's see if I can open the thing. See him in the sphere. Okay, so I still can't open it. At least I know what it is now and why it gives such an obscene amount of experience. You alright? Who are you? Have we ever had a name, or was it just the first of us? I am your ally in this. I, like these others, have died my death in your mind, and this figment is all that remains. I am one of your incarnations. I was lost, now I'm here again. Whatever you touch within the fortress has brought pieces of yourself to the surface. One of the others may know the means for how this came to be, but it's beyond me. This is a spoiler, but is it possible for there to be more than 3 incarnations in this room, or is it always good, paranoid, and practical? It's always 3, okay. I've had countless lives. Why are there only 3 incarnations here? Perhaps we were the 3 pieces that were somehow still present in your mind. Are you present? When we die, traces of the former personality may remain in your mind. Sometimes we may make ourselves felt. How? Excuse me. About to place yourself in danger, close to realization. I found that I could stir, help prod you in the right direction. Oh, interesting. So he's the thing that's giving me the memory rushes. And the worming sensation. Do you know why I wanted to become immortal? I don't. It was done out of fear. What makes you think it was done out of fear? The man smiles slightly, but there's no humor in it. It's a sad smile. What man wishes to die? Only the first of us will ever truly know the reason that brought us to this state. Traces are left in the mind, that's what caused you to emerge. Possible the first of us, the real one of us, before all the incarnations, might still be buried somewhere in my mind. The expression on the incarnation's face flickers for just a moment, but it's like a window, and you suddenly realize who it is you're speaking to. You are the first of us. The good incarnation is the first of us. The incarnation's eyes take on a haunted look, and this gaze turns away from yours. I know what you're thinking, but it's not the case. You think that knowing the mind of the first of us will help you here, in this place. It will not. I have so many questions that you can answer. Why to become immortal? Why? If we die, truly die, Death's kingdom will not be paradise, not for us. If you spoke to these others that were here, know that a fraction of the evil of their lives is but a drop of water compared to the evil of mine. That life, that one life, even without the thousands of others, has given a seat in the lower planes for eternity. But you seem so much calmer and well-intentioned. Came that way, yes, because for me, it is regret that may change the nature of a man. Ah. I don't think that was one of the answers with Ravel, but I don't remember. I found that changing my nature was not enough. I needed more time, I needed more life. Came to the greatest of the Grey Sisters and asked her for a boon to try and help me live long enough to rectify all the damage I had done. To make me immortal. It's a good logical sequence. When she first tested your immortality and killed you, you forgot everything. Planes have been dying ever since. The crime is great and the blame is mine. Who are you? What was your life like? When I become no more, when I merge with you, you will have the answers you seek. It might take some time to sort them out, but they're there. It's difficult to communicate a life with words. The writers didn't want to write all that shit. Before I return to living, there's something I would know. What do you wish to know? Did you live your life, the brief life you had? Was it worth it? No, I was reborn in a terrible place, and I'm sorry to have lived. It seems short. Traveling too much to appreciate it. The little I experienced I enjoyed, and I do not wish to forget it. He nods, and for a moment you think he's going to say something, but then he collapses. The life running out of him and into yours. As he falls to the black stones, you feel a crawling sensation in the back of your skull, making you shiver, and you know the Incarnation is no more. Alright, let's try using it now. So he said that it's supposed to be his sphere, right? Okay, here we go. As you hold the sphere up this time and examine it, you feel the memories of the first of your incarnation stirring within you. It's not an insistent or driving force. It's calm, like the thoughts of a man walking across a great distance to speak to a friend he hasn't seen in ages. As you feel his presence in your mind, you see the sphere in a different light, not as ugly or hideous, but as something precious like a newborn child. The sphere is the repository of your last moments before you met Ravel on the Grey Waste and asked the impossible of her. You know why you asked her. You know that all you need to do is touch the surface of the sphere with both hands and feel regret, and the stone will open itself to you. Cool. Thanks for not letting me miss this. This is very cool and up my alley. The sphere wrinkles in your hands, the skin of the sphere peeling away into tears, or into tears, and turning into a rain of bronze that encircles you. Every droplet, each fragment that enters you, you feel a new memory stirring, a lost love, a forgotten pain, an ache of loss. With it comes the great pressure of regret. Regret of careless actions, regret of suffering, regret of war, regret of death. Feel your mind buckling from the pressure. Such an important item that I threw into like a random chest in a random house next to the merchants, right? An entire fortress would be built from such pain. Try to focus and keep your center. The torrent of regrets, you feel the first incarnation again. His hand, invisible and weightless, is upon your shoulder, steadying you. He doesn't speak, but with his touch, you remember your name. Oh my god! It's such a simple thing. Wait, how much is that? 2 million XP? Jeez. Yeah, that makes sense. Otherwise you wouldn't know to bring it. Or maybe you make a save before you go through the portal and then go and grab it once he mentions it. Knowing your name, your true name, you know that you have gained back perhaps the most important part of yourself. I hope they don't tell you, because it sounds like they're not going to tell you. That was my name all along? Knowing your name, you know yourself, and you know now there's very little you cannot do. First Incarnation's hand is gone from your shoulder, and he's watching you with a slight smile. The first Incarnation holds a finger to his lips, silencing you. He nods the symbol on your arm, indicating you should make use of it. Examine your arm. The symbol of Torment, seems brittle, only barely holding itself to your skin. Peel it from your arm. It gives way with a slight resistance, like pulling off a scab. As you hold the symbol, you know you can harness its power. It no longer rules you. No longer wear the symbol. Does that mean you can no longer feel the presence of the first incarnation within you after you remove the symbol of Torment?
Feel stronger.
The Named One achievement unlocked. That's cool. Symbol of Torment. Invokes Rune of Torment. The symbol no longer rules you, and you may harness its power to bring retribution among your enemies. Holding it and invoking its power will summon all the pain and suffering of your past incarnations upon your foes. That probably is not going to make your foes super happy. Thy first magical artifact that actually has infinite uses. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, I just got so many levels up there. It's comical. I think it looks like anything above 22 is like a super overkill. I think the way the Constitution works, it's not going to like backfill HP to me. I guess I'll regen faster, which is nice. Mage level 21. Oh yeah, 130 HP. That's a lot better. It's a little late. Let's go ahead and save. After Bronze Sphere. I don't know if I want the Paranoid Incarnation in me. His back is hunched as if he's perpetually afraid of being struck. He's watching you warily, and he hisses as you approach. His left arm looks like it's holding on by a thread. Who are you? Know that you will not last long in this place, thief. Mazes and regrets and death are all that are here. You are a thief. I will feel the bones of your neck snap beneath my fingers. Take my body back. You wear my body like a cloak, and you shame me. I wonder how much stat you need to be able to absorb the practical incarnation into yourself. I walk on the streets of the Ring City, and all who saw me knew me. All you had done, all you had harmed, they were waiting for me, blaming me, hurting me, until I couldn't take the voices anymore. You're the one who made that dodecahedron journal. Trapped one, aren't you? You're the only one who set fire to Iannis' legacies, weren't you? Burn the false papers, yes. Now I'm full. Now I'm full. Hey, 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 hey. You're to blame for killing the linguist Finn, aren't you? There were many that I killed, many that needed to be silenced. What happened to your arm? It kept coming off, so I had to stitch it up again. Speak in private, just the two of us. Only I know the language of the Uyo. How do you know it? You are correct. You are the only one who knows the language of the Uyo, so if I know the language of the Uyo, I must be you. It is the others who are not you. They do not know the language of the Uyo. This place confuses one's perceptions. We are both you, and now we must become as one. To your surprise, he reverts to normal speech, and all the inflections of his voice are gone. Calm and level, much like your own. I no longer wish to live like this. That's cool. All from a random curiosity shop item. You have suffered much. You were born into a world where nothing made sense, where strangers claimed they knew you. They blamed you for things you knew nothing of. They tried to hurt you. I'll protect you now. You will know peace. That's all you ever wanted, isn't it? Strength increased. Constitution increased. Okay, it was going to be like... Stats go down because he's so paranoid. It's a flood of memories and strength and emotions, and you steady yourself, dizzy for a moment, and your vision clears. Cool. Hey, it's Deionarra. Try Incarnation. Yo, Deionarra, what's groovin'? Deionarra Day. Last I have found you. I searched for you after you were divided by the crystal. This fortress spans hundreds of miles, and I feared you were lost to me. Crystal divided me, but I am one again. Now I'm trapped here. Where does you wish to go? Wish to find... I'll speak to you for a moment and tell you how I died and why. When I brought you to this fortress, it was my intention that you die here. I needed someone to remain behind so you would serve as a link to this place. Maybe because you love me so much, your love would stave off death and allow you to become a spirit with unfinished business. I'm sorry. Do you love me? If you say yes, then nothing that has happened matters. Though I did not know you at first, I have come to love you. Your suffering has become mine, and I have found I will do what I can to help you. That's fair. I am trapped here. Can you help me escape? I should go over where my mortality is and recover it.
Forgive what you have done. I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
Thanks, Other Jennifer Hale. Sounds bad.
Alright.
Alright, we're gonna go fight Tony J. That doesn't look good. They all look pretty dead. Mort 2. Supreme bummer. Although, props to this game. I wonder if I can use my ability on them. worked. It would be cool if they had that become a mechanical thing right in the endgame. Bummer. Graphics.
So you have come. Then you shall die again.
Final boss conversation.
So you have come. You are unwelcome here, Broken One.
What have you done to my friends? Nuked him. Ignus, not so much.
Are they dead? Yes. Unlike you, they have but one life. And they wasted it for your sake.
Time for you as they always have. It's fatal all that follow you, Broken One. You have forgotten much. Why did you do it? Trying to harm me here of all places. I defended myself. In so doing, mortality claimed them. Gave them the opportunity to depart this place. I feel like you gave one of them the opportunity to depart this place. So you killed them. Tiefling girl was especially fierce in your defense. Deionarra was quite strong. Took no pleasure in their deaths. Then why did you do it? It's not my will. It was not I that brought them here. All of them had a choice, and they chose to die for you. It's always been the way of all that follow you, for their tormented souls seeking a release. You have forgotten this, and you shall again. You are my mortality. Yeah, Tony J is me. Your armor is twisted like tree branches. Such things speak of Ravel's magics. That which was split from you from the hag's power. That which walks with all life. Wonder if the intent is that... I guess the protagonist does have a voice when you click and make him move places, and it's not Tony J. My voice is a death rattle, a last breath in the throat, the whisper of a dying man. Freed from the prison of your flesh. The moment I was split from your cancerous shell, I knew life, I knew freedom, I shall not surrender it to you. We were not meant to be separated, and the planes have suffered because of our separation. You know nothing of meaning in separation. Before your memory dies again, know we were never meant to be as one. Shall be the last time you and I speak, Broken One. Hey, I just found out my name. It's like Jim or something. But like Fantasy Jim. It's like Jhim. Or TNO is like Tony. I've traveled far and there are many questions you can answer. I will indulge you because this is a CRPG. I like, yeah, JH''YMME. Questions are these. Done everything you can to prevent us from meeting face to face. Why? You think I fear to face you, Broken One? I do not. So you send shadows to kill me rather than trying to defeat me yourself? Send shadows because their reach is long. It's my eyes that guide them. So the shadows travel distances you cannot. There's nothing I cannot do. You never traveled beyond these walls to fight me. Only sent shadows. That's how a coward fights. Energies are needed to sustain this place, Broken One. Else it would be my hand on your throat with each of your deaths. You may not travel beyond these fortress walls for long. I think you're afraid to confront me, or else you're lying to me. I don't believe you. Why is sustaining this place so important for you? If you're truly as powerful as you say, why would you want to remain here? There's nothing here. It's my fortress, my home. And what a home it is, too. Mortared from my regrets, with nothing but the shades of those who we've murdered filling its halls. Oh, are the enemies in here actually based on, like, people you've killed? Or times you've died? Words for places like that. They're called prisons. Every word betrays your ignorance. Fortress is silent. That's cool. I feel like I didn't die that many times in the base game. Like, definitely more at the beginning of the game when I was having to brute force some stuff. But, like, once I had a full party, I don't think I wiped that many times. That's cool. You have to remain here along with the shadows and the ghosts, because that's what you become. I don't think you sustain this place at all. It sustains you. Remain here by choice. Really? So when you said you can't journey beyond the fortress for long, you were lying? How is it possible that a fortress built from my regrets needs you to sustain it? Man, my mortality... really obstinate. Because you can't logic somebody into a position they didn't logic themselves into. I may be immortal, but Rabble told me the ritual was flawed. Whenever I die, I lose a fraction of my mind. You cannot die. Your mind may be lost, but your flesh will live on. That's all that's needed. We share a link, you and I, however small. I feel like English writers have this, like, terror of the word me. Like, they don't want to say, we have a link, you and me. I just sounds like more formal and bad guy-y or fantasy-y. I'm trying to kill me all this time. Shadows you sent against me, they never succeeded in killing me, but that was never their purpose, was it? They only kill me to make me forget. There's nothing in your shell of a mind that's of consequence, Broken One. From what the Pillar of Skulls told me, there were 3 that knew where you could be found and how to reach you. One is Trias, one's you, and the other's me. If you kill Trias and I, there'll be no one who knows who you are or how to find you. The angel that shields itself with golden lies, you led him to me at last. Or you led me to him at last. Betrayer was difficult to find. He will die the final death. You used me to find him? You wanted me to kill him, didn't you, so his knowledge would die? I never again wish to suffer your presence, Broken One. You're an irritation. You should be left in peace in my fortress. So you have forgotten me, I wish to forget you forever. No longer forget when I die. Perhaps once, but no longer. Always forgotten. I've always remembered. It was always such. Always doesn't mean what it once did. I've died time and again, and my memories have returned to me. Your deceptions will not shield you here. It's the truth. Killing me won't stop me, because killing me doesn't make me forget anymore. I'll know you always. I'll remember everything you've done, how to reach here, and eventually how to destroy you. And I shall imprison you. I already escaped from that prison you threw in my path. You can't kill me, you can't hold me, and you can't make me forget myself. Feed you to the shade. They'll defeat you here, then cast you into the shadow galleries, and they may feed on you. They'll kill you across the span of several eternities. His face. We are linked as you say, then speak our name. Name is a thing earned by a man through his actions. The name we once had is meaningless. You don't know what our name once was, do you? There's no one in all existence that knows our name. This is our shield. Names carry power. One is nameless as we are, then one is strong. Our name is known to me, creature, and knowing I have become strong. You lie, our name is lost. You are of me, you know when I deceive you. I do not lie now. Even with such knowing, you don't have the power to defeat me. God, Tony J, you're like Albert Wesker. No one to give up. I guess he needs to keep being a dick so I can keep asking questions in this endgame conversation, right? Not allow you to trick me into a battle that is not even necessary. For in knowing my name, my true name, I know yours. There is nothing more you can do to me. I will unmake you. Nope, I'll unmake you. You know not what you do. If we're reunited, it will be an ending. There will be no future for us. We shall go on to further torments. It's better that happen than the multiverse continue to suffer because of us. If we become one, we shall suffer. There's too much of the nature of the first one in us for us to be saved. We'll be damned. You know not what you do. No, I know very well what I do. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a cool arc that it's like the first one was afraid because he was such a bad person that he could never redeem himself, right? Now it's like, no, I should go suffer for what I did. I've always hated you, Broken One. When we are one, I'll continue to hate you. When your shell dies at last, know that I shall take pleasure in your death. I can live with that and soak in the plains. My hatred for you will unmake the plains. Before we do that, what about my friends? Can we save them? Because it's a bummer that they're dead. We are one, my knowing shall be yours. Whoa! Am I gonna look less like a zombie man, or I'm just gonna get cool armor? Still a cool looking zombie man. Hey, Casseray's dead. Hey, hold up, Chief. You don't need to resurrect me. I was just lying there, you know, listening to you two. You were feigning death. Already dead, and what happened to your voice? Oh, cool. Now I talk in all caps. Now I'm Tony J. I'm something else now. Time runs short, and soon time and fate will catch up with me. Turn you to Sigil Mort if you wish it. Turn me? What about you? Come on, Chief. I may be a coward, but there's no way I'm leaving you in this place. Many are the crimes that were committed when my mortality and I were split. I think, like, it's great because Tony J does talk in all caps. Like, you know who you're supposed to be hearing? Tony J. Go with you anyway, Chief. You wanted me to. We've been through worse. One day you and I will meet again on another plane, not now.
But, it's been a pleasure, Chief.
Later, Rob Paulson. I do like the saying goodbye to your party members RPG trope. Annah, are you alright? Your voice, it's like echoes. I am something else now. Where are you going? Crimes carry a price. Do not forget how much you're willing to sacrifice for me, Annah. Look how he, like, kips up. As your power touches him, Dak'kon takes a staggered breath and looks up weakly. He's barely clinging to life. Awaken, Dak'kon of Shlak-Tlur, last wielder of the Karak blade. Probably shouldn't tell him the truth about me making up his Bible. If you will ask him to know yourself. So did I like evade an actual combat through conversation? I've always enjoyed that about CRPGs. One of the more satisfying ones is in Mass Effect 1. Know that once I owed you a debt. Know that you saved my life, and know that I followed you to settle that debt.
For your life with mine. The debt is settled.
That's fair. He did die. Otherwise, it's defeated without learning your name. The power of Jim. All from grace. Cost as many lifetimes, mine and others. Price of such a thing is seldom measured in copper. Other dialogue paths. I see what you're saying, yeah. You need Ant-Man. Cannot remain here for much longer. My punishment called, and fate and time shall soon be here. Return you to Sigil if you wish. That is not my wish. I'll find you again, no matter where in the lower planes you will be. Just as you shall be able to find me. It might be a long time where I'm bound. Time's not measured in years. And the crimes I've committed are stronger than any cage. Should not forget all you sacrificed for me. Time lays waste to all things, but I shall fight it as long as I can.
Forever is.
More graphics. I'm glad he got a minute to resurrect his buddies before he had to go to hell, being a bad guy. Yeah, that's the lower plains, alright. Regret. Cool. This game was great. Thanks, folks, for adding it onto the sheet and voting for it. You can see why it is so well received. Like I mentioned earlier, I do think that like they were really ambitious about what they wanted to do with this. They spent a lot of time on Act 1 in Sigil, and they're like, shit, we can't apply this level of polish to the whole game. So it's not that the middle act is unpolished, it's just that it's like, this is what we wanted to do. Sorry, we couldn't do all of it. But it just makes me wonder, like, if they had infinite budget and an infinite team and like 30 years to make it, what would the game have looked like, right? I think they actually did a really good job of wrapping it. Like I was saying earlier, I was worried that it was just going to abruptly end with the Deva fight. I'm glad that they kind of brought it back to the Fortress of Regret, because that felt like a satisfying ending. Really? Homer Simpson? Oh, and Keith David. Nice. Homer Simpson before he was extremely expensive. So did I have like party members that I could have recruited but didn't recruit? Other than the suit of armor guy who was almost certainly a party member? Yeah, I assumed that there was a Modron to recruit because I had items that they were equipable only by Modron. Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII for inspiration. Really? I think he was the robot that I didn't recruit. Enhanced edition credits. Hey, kitties. Was it just in one of the rooms that I happened to not bump into him or something? Yeah, nothing like, what was it? God of War. I think God of War is the longest credits we've ever had. It was like almost 40 minutes. And it wasn't like there were like cutscenes or something playing or images. Yeah, really cool story too. Actually, it felt like a real D&D adventure in that respect, that it was like super ambitious in episode 1 in like the first sit-down session. And then it just had to kind of wrap things up. Fusrodamus, I get it. Oh, he only appears in the hard version. So does he show up at the actual end of the dungeon, or is he like in the lobby room or something? I guess if there's anything else I missed, or things that could have been different in different playthroughs, feel free to let me know. We've got a little over an hour left. I'm trying to decide whether I want to swap to Banjo now. I guess it depends. Kai Mom, are you still awake? Have you been waiting up for Banjo this whole time? I'll keep going if you're still up. Otherwise, I'll add on a couple extra hours next week. My wife's traveling for work again. Okay, we'll go ahead and do a quick hour of Banjo then. Maybe I'll hold on to it and edit it into next week. Five by 5 dungeon. He's in one of the cells. There's a cute story with you as the Tail Chaser sequence and defying Tony J. Nice. Oh yeah, I think the Enhanced Edition credits are longer than the base game's credits. Wow. Nordum's just Modron backwards. So is he like, is he just as lawful as all the other Modron, or is he like the Drizzt of Modron? One of the zombies you killed in the early mortuary was the blind archer. Oh. He's the Drizzt of Modron. Okay. It kind of seems to be the pattern with the party members in this game, which is cool. Like, you have the good non-sexual succubus. And the lawful gets Zerai. I don't know, I think that stuff is fun still. Could have talked with him after you got to talk with the dead skill. Oh, that's cool. I kind of wish I hadn't murdered everybody at the beginning, but I was still kind of like getting a hang of the way the game worked. I was always trying to find a quit option on this title screen. I didn't realize that that's what the Abyss did. Alright, give me a few minutes. We'll switch to Banjo here for about an hour.